Ryan. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Asante? Thank you so much for taking some time to talk with me today.
Oh, of course, no problem.
It's an honor to talk to you. I'm a huge fan of your work. And first and foremost, I wanted to ask you, how are you doing in the midst of this pandemic and how everything is going? How have the past couple months been treating you?
Thank you for that. I've been pretty good. I've been, kind of picking things up since the stagnancy at the beginning of the pandemic. But still, of course, there's still a lot going on in the world. Just got to try to find, I guess, many nuggets of joy where I can.
Right. So, have you been picking up on any new hobbies, watching any new shows or movies?
Yeah, one of this show just came out that I've just been saying is my favorite show of all time now. Lovecraft Country. It's so
Mm,
good.
that's a great one. Jordan Peele.
And oh man, I mean, yeah, just everybody behind that show is genius to me. I've never seen anything like it, but it's been, I mean, yeah, that's been great. And then outside of that, um, I don't know, been playing a lot of basketball with family, and then just started going back to work. So that's been good.
Right. Fun stuff. And you also, like you said, you've been balancing work in that time as well. And you're actually working on two projects, correct? You're working on a new Netflix project for Social Distance and also This Is Us.
Correct. Yeah.
So let's start with the Netflix series first. That was just announced pretty recently, so there hasn't been a ton of information about the new series Social Distance. So can you tell us a little bit about the show and your involvement and what it's been like to film that since I believe it's been filmed remotely, correct?
Yeah. So yeah, basically, Social Distance is an anthology series where there's 8 different episodes, and each episode is a completely different story about completely different people and their experiences during the pandemic and their experiences having to quarantine. I guess that kind of shows how this pandemic has affected different people and how we all kind of cope through it in our own different ways. But at the same time, we all kind of have to lean on each other in order to get through it. And yeah, I mean, filming has been. I mean, it was very, very interesting. Like you said, it was all done remotely. So there was, no director on set, no cinematographer on set. They were all through Zoom. And really, me and my dad, who's also in the episode with me, we almost had to do all of the technical work ourselves while everybody through Zoom guided us through. So,
Oh wow,
brand new experience, but yeah, it was pretty fun.
that's great. Also, is this the first time that you and your dad have collaborated on the same project in the same episode, or have you guys worked together before?
No, yeah, first time. It was my dad's first time acting ever, actually.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Did he like it?
Yeah, he was like, hey, if anything else comes after this, then I would definitely be open to it.
Oh, fun. So cool. Well, fingers crossed if there's a season two, he makes a return.
Fingers crossed.
So, was that a little challenging to be fully involved with the Zoom filming? Is there anything that you had to learn, maybe like cinematography wise, or lighting wise, or camera wise? Because you're not just at that point, you're not just the actor on set. You're also kind of navigating the production as well.
Yeah, it was definitely, a completely different area of the entertainment industry that was foreign to me. So I would say it was a little challenging. We did have to do things. We had to do things like change lenses and, figure out how to zoom on the cameras. And of course, they were guiding us through it the entire time. But, when they're not right there, it was kind of hard to understand what they're saying. But, eventually we got through it. It was a good time.
That's so cool. Yeah, we're all really excited for it to premiere, and it seems like it's going to be definitely very interesting and a first for Netflix as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm excited. I think honestly, a first for any kind of series of this kind, because before this pandemic, we've never seen anything be shot like this. So maybe
Right.
it'll open new things up in the future.
Absolutely. I think that'd be super cool. So, does it take place in the first couple months of the pandemic, or is there kind of a timeline that your episode goes through?
Yeah, so it does take place in the first few months of the pandemic. My episode takes place immediately after George Floyd's murder, and it covers
Oh, wow.
the protests that were going on during the pandemic. So, as you can see, like it's just completely different ranging storylines because so much happened during this period of time, and so much is still happening. It's really you really wouldn't know what to expect going from one episode to the next.
Absolutely. That's super interesting. And I think we're all going to be really excited to see something like that. And also, since this isn't your first time working with Netflix, everyone knows you from When They See Us and how incredible that project was for Netflix. So was it interesting to return and also kind of deal, since you said it was right after George Floyd's death in the storyline, it seems like there's a lot of similar topics that are going to be addressed, much like in When They See Us.
Not necessarily. I think that, it's kind of similar, but really what this episode is about is a dialogue between my character and my father's character. My father plays my boss, and I'm his employee. And, really my character is wanting to get out there and protest, but my father's character is basically saying no, and, kind of wants to figure out different ways to tackle racism rather than, running out and marching out into the streets. So it really just shows the different perspectives on how we all, want to solve this thing and want to figure out police brutality and want to rework the system. We don't all necessarily have the same ideas on which way it's best to go about it. So that's really what the episode is tackling.
Wow, that sounds great. I'm really excited to watch that, and I'm also really excited to watch This Is Us when that returns later this month, which you've also been working on. So how has it been returning? You've been physically returning to set for This Is Us, correct? Has that been a challenge to go back to a set, follow new safety procedures?
Not really. Honestly, I feel like we've been in this pandemic for so long. It's been a while, but I feel like we've kind of just gotten used to, wearing our masks and, making sure that we're all safe, making sure that we're 6 feet away from each other. So, the protocols that they have in place really, I wouldn't say necessarily are anything too out of the box, except that, one of the things that they actually have us in boxes while we are, not on set. Like, there's, plexiglass boxes we have to stay in while we're, and it's basically like our green rooms, but to make sure that nobody gets infected while they're setting up cameras and everything like that. So that's been pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think I saw some of that on Mandy Moore's Instagram page, and it definitely looks like something that a year ago we would have never predicted having to see on Hollywood sets, for sure.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So this season, this is going to be season 5 of This Is Us. Everyone's really excited for it to return, and everyone knows that you play the character of Malik, who is a teen father. And are we going to see a bit more of Malik's background? There's definitely a lot of story to tell there, but are we going to be seeing more scenes with him and Deja? What can fans expect from this season?
This is very, 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 very secretive.
So, yeah, I bet.
You guys can expect, all I'll say is that you guys can expect a lot, and I think that fans will be super excited to see how Malik's storyline develops this season in a way that it didn't last season.
Interesting. Yeah, the way that your character was introduced to the show, kind of in this interesting storytelling way that This Is Us always brings in new characters, was your character was introduced, and fans didn't quite know how he fit into the Pearson story until the end of his first episode. So how much did you know about the character that you'd be playing before the audience met your character?
I pretty much knew everything about him, except I think that when I auditioned, there wasn't much to be known, but then once they offered me the part, they kind of just explained and broke down, what Malik's involvement in the storyline was going to be. And I was a little skeptical at first, because I was like, wait, you're bringing in this completely new character that nobody's ever seen and giving him, this much screen time, and, people are going to be okay with that, but, obviously it turned out pretty well. So, I think people would be excited to see, what he does this season. They'll be in for a treat, definitely.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what's ahead. And since your character is so unique, like you mentioned, he's a teen father at such a young age. Is it a challenge to play a role like that? Because I feel like with so many storylines on This Is Us, they haven't been played on TV in this capability before, or they haven't, I don't think there's been many teen father characters that have really been so prevalent on screen at such a young age. So is it challenging to play a character like that? Do you have a certain approach to it, or is it just kind of what you know about the character from the point where you first audition and just kind of bringing him to life on screen?
Yeah, well, it's always challenging bringing any character to life. But I feel like with Malik, I feel like there's an extra level of just wanting to get it right, because there's so many, like you said, that there really hasn't been a character like this on TV like ever before. And so because this character, even though we haven't seen anyone like him on TV before, there are so many young teenage fathers that are out there in real life. So they're able to see Malik and want to see him represented in the way that an actual teenage father would be. So I feel like that kind of holds an extra weight. But at the same time, I feel like it's such an honor to be able to bring this to be able to bring this character to fruition, and just showcase a different side of humanity that we haven't seen before.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's why so many people are taking to your character so much and find him so interesting. And I know that, everyone on This Is Us has kind of sworn to secrecy for a while, but since This Is Us has so many different timelines, there's some that takes place in the past, in the present, and in the future. Are we going to know anything about maybe the future? Are we going to see maybe an adult Malik pop up in Deja's future? Is he going to be waiting in the wings in the years to come? Is there anything you could tell us? Or I know you're sworn to secrecy about it, though. Good answer. I understand that. That makes a lot of sense, especially for a show like this.
Yeah, but trust me, fans won't be disappointed. That's all I'm saying.
That's great. It's good to know that, 5 seasons into a show, there's still a lot of surprises that are, I'm sure, going to be revealed this year. Really exciting. So that premieres this month. Does Social Distance on Netflix have an official premiere date yet, or are you guys still in the process of post-production?
It does. It premieres October 15th.
Oh, I think that's even sooner than This Is Us. Wow, it's all coming very, very soon.
Yeah, that's next Thursday.
Great. Well, I'm super excited to watch all the projects that you've been working on. Are there any other future projects that you're working on that you can give us a little tease towards?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot that I'm working on right now, but they're not. They haven't been announced yet. So as soon as they've been announced, you guys will know, definitely.
That's great. That's awesome. We're all going to be looking forward to it for sure. And I'm really excited to have the chance to talk to you. Thank you so much for taking the chance to talk to me. I'm sure you've been super busy with all the work that you've been doing, and we're all really looking forward to it.
Oh, man, the pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much, Ryan.
Thank you so much. Have a great time with everything you're working on.
I will. You have a good day.
You too. Thanks so much.